even lead them to do terrible things.
And there's this disturbing idea of this warped sense of justice. Like who gets to decide what makes a bad mother? We're diving deep today into some excerpts we got describing this crime thriller, Abandoned in Death.
Sounds intriguing already.
Oh, it is, and we're going to try to pull out all the juiciest bits for everyone listening.
That's good to me.
The book starts off, and right away, things are intense. We're talking an abandoned playground, and a body's found.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and not just anybody, it's Poe's, and there's this message with it that says, "Bad mommy."
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's definitely sending chills down my spine. And on top of that, there are signs that this victim was held captive for a while.
So right away, you know it's going to be a dark one.
Absolutely. And Lieutenant Eve Dallas, our protagonist, is the lead on the case.
Ah, Eve Dallas. She's always in the thick of it.
She really is. And what makes this case even more disturbing is that it doesn't seem like a one-off thing,
Right.
The investigation starts to uncover this really unsettling pattern that's been going on for years.
Like what?
Well, they find out that a number of women have gone missing over the years, and they all fit a very specific profile.
So this isn't just a random act of violence. There's a definite pattern and possibly a motive here.
Yeah, and the motive, well, it seems like this killer is targeting women who they see as bad mothers for past mistakes they've made.
So like some twisted form of vigilante justice almost.
Exactly. It's a really disturbing concept, and the question becomes, how does Eve even begin to untangle something this messed up?
Good question.
Well, from what we see in these excerpts, it looks like she's getting help from her husband, Rourke,
Right. Rourke always has those connections and resources.
And she's definitely going to need them.
Especially with a case this complex, I bet advanced forensics will play a big role too.
Oh, for sure. The excerpts mention some high-tech stuff. It sounds like they're using AI to analyze all sorts of data.
That makes sense. You can use AI to connect the dots, find the links that humans might miss and all that information.
Right. And especially in this futuristic setting they have in these books, it's all about combining Eve's sharp instincts with powerful technology.
So it's like augmenting her natural abilities with the best tools available.
Exactly. But here's where things take a really dark turn. Ready for this?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so the excerpt suggests that the killer's motive is like super personal.
Oh, how so?
Well, it seems like their whole reason for doing all of this is tied to their own childhood trauma. They were abandoned by their mother.
Oh, wow. That's a really powerful and really disturbing driving force.
It is, and in a way, it's almost as if they're trying to recreate that experience of abandonment that they went through.
Yeah, by inflicting a similar kind of judgment on these women, it's like a twisted reflection of their own pain.
That's exactly it, and it takes the story beyond just a typical crime thriller,
Right. There's a whole psychological element at play here that makes it so much more complex.
You can practically feel the urgency, too, in these excerpts, like Eve is in a race against time to stop this killer.
Yeah, before more women become victims.
Exactly. Every second counts.
Absolutely. It's a ticking clock scenario, and each clue they find probably just leads them deeper into this web of secrets and hidden identities.
Oh, I bet there are some shocking reveals waiting for us.
It definitely sounds like a wild ride.
So we've talked plot, but what about some of those deeper themes that we can expect?
Well, the psychological thriller aspect is obviously huge. The killer's trauma is like the central driving force.
Right, and then you have Eve and her dedication to justice. She's always relentless.
And then you have to think about the impact of trauma, how it can shape someone's entire life, even lead them to do terrible things.
And there's this disturbing idea of this warped sense of justice. Like who gets to decide what makes a bad mother anyway?
That's a good point. It really makes you think. And of course, you can't forget the futuristic setting and the role technology plays in crime solving.
It's like a classic thriller, but with a really modern edge.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so compelling.
For those wondering if they can jump right in, it seems like Abandoned in Death can be read as a standalone, even though it's part of a series.
Yeah, from what we've seen, it seems like a complete story on its own.
Plus, there are hints about a ton of twists and turns.
I bet it keeps you guessing until the very end.
So, to sum it all up, Lieutenant Eve Dallas is on the hunt for a killer whose actions are fueled by their own past trauma of being abandoned by their mother, and they're targeting women they perceive as bad mothers.
Yeah, that about covers it.
It's a dark and personal case, and Eve has to use everything at her disposal, her skills, technology, her team, to try and stop this killer.
It's a chilling premise that really highlights the forces at play.
This deep dive into Abandoned in Death really makes you think, doesn't it? It forces you to consider how we judge people, especially when it comes to parenting.
And how deeply pain from the past can affect someone's actions.
Yeah, and how it can manifest in ways that are truly destructive and devastating. It's definitely something to ponder long after you finish the book.
Definitely food for thought.
Grab Abandoned in Death by J.D. Robb, now on sale for $6.95. Don't miss this chance to build good habit and achieve remarkable results. Buy now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.